Today, we are at Acuity's third quarter offsite. We're doing our planning for 2024. And I thought it would be a good opportunity to introduce you to some team members who actually get the work done at Acuity, who actually do the things. We all know that's not me. We've already had that on a podcast. Does Kenji actually work? And I think the answer probably came out as no, he does not actually work. So I'd love for you to meet a few different Acuity team members, learn a little bit about them, what they do at Acuity, and maybe get some ideas about things they think are coming in 2024. So we're going to do all that today here on Drink While You Think, the happy hour podcast where knuckleheads like me are out building their firms in very, very weird ways. I am your host, Kenji. Matthew, my co-host, is around here somewhere. Maybe he'll show up, maybe he won't. But since Matthew is not here, I will do his job for him. So, our sponsor today of Drink While You Think is the Accounting Salon. Yes, Accounting Salon. Place where accountants who are trying to change the industry come together and share and help each other grow and go. And guess what? It's a limited group. It's a very small, curated group. But right now, if you act now, the nominations for next year's class are open. So please go to Accounting Salon and go submit an application and nominate yourself or someone else you know who should be a member of Accounting Salon. I especially encourage you because guess what? Matthew's not a member of Accounting Salon. And whenever he meets someone who's in Accounting Salon, he gets incredibly jealous. You want to be one of those people that he's incredibly jealous of. So go to Accounting Salon and nominate yourself. Okay. Real quick, here's what I'm drinking today. And we'll find out what other people are drinking. I am drinking the Monday Night Brewing Oktoberfest. It's that time of year, even though it's September. Technically, it is Oktoberfest season, even though it's called Oktoberfest. Very, very good beer. It's a German-style Marzen. And I guess the percentage on this is not disclosed, but it is. It's 5%. It's nothing too high. It's very tasty. We'll rate this up a little bit later. So cheers, friends. Thank you for joining us. And now get ready to meet some Acuity team members.
Oh, this is it.
Yeah, our first guest is up. Here he is. First of all, Tyler, tell everybody who you are.
Tyler Horn.
What do you do at Acuity?
Sales.
Whoa. And what are you drinking today?
I am drinking my favorite, Tropicalia.
Ooh, solid choice.
A solid Georgia favorite, Creature Comforts.
Cheers. But also, what were you drinking before you came out here? Just so people know.
Oh, I knew you were going to ask that. That's why I finished it really quick. I was drinking a Truly. So I finished it really quick.
Okay.
And I grabbed a
That's
Creature
fair.
Comfort.
That's fair. Okay. So you mentioned what you do. You're in sales. So give people like a little bit more of like, all right, what do you have to do? Like, what's your main responsibility at Acuity?
My main responsibility at Acuity is to bring money in the door.
Oh, and last week we talked about bringing money in.
Yeah.
And we did not include you in that conversation. How did you feel about us not including you in the discussion about Acuity sales?
Gonna be real honest, I felt a little bit left out. A whole podcast dedicated to sales, and the sales guy's not even on it. But it was a very good podcast. If you haven't listened to it, please go and listen to it. It is a very good podcast on sales and marketing.
Okay, check that out. So fair enough. Okay, what so you're running sales at Acuity. What are you for here out offsite doing planning for 2024? What do you think like is going to be the biggest thing you've got to get done next year? Just the biggest thing on your plate.
Gosh, the biggest thing on my plate,
either for Q4 or for next year. Like, what's the biggest thing on your plate?
Transparently, I think the biggest thing on my plate is the sales and marketing strategies as we head into 2024 and making sure that those align with the company goals and everything that we're trying to accomplish. I think that's the biggest part there, and making sure that we meet those goals.
This guy's a rock star. This guy is a rock star. That's what you want to hear, right? That's exactly what you want to hear, your sales team member. Okay. Yeah. We're going to finish up We're keeping these quick. We got a bunch of people. One last question for you. And I'm making everybody do these. It's a would you rather.
Oh, I thought it was going to be how often do you think about the Roman Empire? But
Well, apparently us men think about it all the time, which my wife asked me about this
yeah,
the other day. She's
yeah.
like, do you? I'm like, not really.
Yeah.
But apparently I'm supposed to. So I don't know. Okay. Would you rather, and we're keeping this PG. Sometimes these get a little out of control. This has just popped up right out of my what would you rather app. Tyler, would you rather always lose your house keys at home or always lose your car keys at work? It's kind of strange.
I have a great answer for this. I would rather lose my car keys at work because I work from home. Boom.
That's why he's good. He can sell anything. You see that answer? This guy's got it.
Thanks for having me.
Tyler, if you have more questions on how sales works at Acuity, ping us, reach out, and we'll connect you to Tyler. Maybe he'll help you out a little bit.
More than happy to.
Thanks, man.
Later.
Next up, Sergio's here. Sergio, tell us who you are. What do you do at Acuity, and what do you have in the drink?
All right. I'm the director of tax at Acuity, and well, I'm drinking this Oktoberfest German style
Marzen, the same one I'm drinking.
Yeah.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers.
Cheers. So right away, you've already noticed clearly the coolest tax guy you've ever seen. This guy's amazing. He's amazing. What is day to day, Sergio, your job look like? What's the biggest thing you've got to get done at Acuity?
All right. So I do I do handle clients. So I do have some client work. So from my client work perspective, definitely making sure the tax returns primarily this file, quarterly estimates, and any questions, any type of advice that I can do at the tax level. So that's part of my job. As a director, making sure that my team is performing everything correctly, like they're meeting, making sure they're filing things on time, and that the process is smooth and offering a good experience for our clients. So
easy. That sounds easy, right? Not at all.
Very easy.
Yeah, right. Very easy. The thing we love about Sergio is he's always just
Yeah.
cool, calm, and collected amidst all this craziness in the tax season. Anyway, Sergio, what do you think is the biggest thing coming up for you next quarter, next year? Like, what's the biggest thing? Like, oh my gosh, we got to try to get figured out at Acuity. What's kind of top of mind for you?
Next year, definitely, we have so I guess to put into perspective, I feel like every year there's been something new, right? Like whether it was
for sure
since 2018, the new law, and then PPP loans because of COVID, and there's always something new. This year is Section 174. Next year, we're dealing with the ownership information reports. It's a FinCEN requirement. And that's pretty much it's gonna affect every single business.
Oh my gosh.
So we need to plan.
Always something coming in tax.
Always.
Nothing ever stays the same.
Yes.
Our last and final question. It's very technical. Okay. This is would you rather?
Okay.
Let me get.
Yeah.
Would you rather, Sergio, never remember somebody's face or never remember somebody's name?
Oh. Maybe someone's name.
I think that's what I will put that. Yeah. I think I'd say the same thing too. Never remember something. I'm kind of that way already. I have to apologize to people all the time anyway. I'm sorry I can't remember your name.
I'm not the best with names either. But I know I'm like face. I'm like, okay, I think
recognize that person before. So
yeah.
Well, folks, that's Sergio, our tax director and lead. If you have questions for Sergio, ping us on social. Let us know what's going on. But also don't bother him too much right now because we're filming this right in the middle of two of the huge deadlines. So it was awesome for Sergio to actually be with us having a drink. He probably needs it right now. But cheers, my friend. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sergio. Next up. This one's not a new face for you. Y'all know Patti. Patti's been on before talking about amazing processes, all the ways the magic works in the background. At
So I
Acuity.
guess I should go.
Yeah, get back here, will you? Also, like, why is that owl back there? I guess we should maybe, for those of you who are on YouTube watching, we have an owl looking over us here at the offsite. Okay, Patti, for those who may not have listened before, who are you? What do you do at Acuity? And what are you drinking over there?
Patti Scharf, CPA and co-founder of Catching Clouds, now Acuity, leader of e-commerce accounting. What do I do at Acuity? I am the chief process officer. I'm also in charge of tech and systems. And
Not a small job at all.
I am drinking the AcuityCon Rosé.
We are testing out a few drinks that we're going to have at AcuityCon here in about a month. So
Yep.
Cheers to you, Patti.
Cheers. We
Okay.
usually don't get to like tap and
We
real loud.
don't. Well, holding it up like this virtually, that is kind of fun. Okay, Patti.
Yeah.
What exactly, like high level, what in the world does your job entail? Like, what's the big picture of like, what the hell do you do?
Part of it is IT related. I kind of keep track of our written IS policies and things like that. Just making sure all of our systems are in order, keeping an eye on our IT manager, Sherry, who does not need a lot of eye keeping on. She's awesome.
She's awesome.
I also I spend most of my time on process. So I oversee our process team, automations, things like that, just making sure that things are running smoothly at Acuity and with the least amount of effort possible.
I always liked how you said in a previous episode, think about processes, you're trying to get us from point A to like point Y, like, creating the path.
Might as well go to Z.
Might as well go to Z.
Or Z for those
Z.
who aren't in the
So
US.
all the way there through all the paths. That's what Patti does. Because guess what? There is no point A to point B.
Yeah.
Anything we do, it's got to be through a million different paths. And Patti helps guide us there, which is awesome. Okay, Patti, what do you think is what's the biggest thing like top of mind for you in that coming year that you feel like you want to get done at Acuity?
In the coming year.
Or a coming quarter, just something that's like top of mind, like, oh.
Well, I was gonna say, I don't know if this is like we've like really decided on this, but I think we
Whatever
kind
you
of
want.
have.
Yeah.
Is probably I'm going to be dipping my toe back into the e-commerce world in 2024. So people are going to start seeing my name and face around in the places where they used to see my name and face.
Yep, we're very accustomed to that for a long time.
But now they'll be seeing an Acuity shirt instead.
I remember when we announced kind of internally that we were talking about merging with an e-commerce practice. Immediately, Tyler, who you just met earlier, was like, is it Patti Scharf? Because I watch her videos about e-commerce. I'm like, yes, but don't say anything. We're not there yet. But yes, you were known for that.
Yeah.
I look forward to having you back out there again soon. Okay. And it's time for Patti, your would you rather question.
Okay.
That's a terrible. We're not doing that.
Okay, good.
That's terrible. Would you rather know what your pets think of you or never hear your pets speak? It's kind of a weird question.
That is a weird question.
Want a different one?
I want a different one.
Yeah,
I don't have
okay.
any pets anymore.
Okay.
And I used to have this husky and she never barked at all. She was like super
silent.
quiet because she and I were just like, yeah.
I've got one for you. And this would be one that your husband, Scott, would definitely have an answer for, but I think you will too. Would you rather have gravity not work for a day or be on the waiting list to fly around the moon?
Gravity not work for a day.
You don't want to go fly around the moon, do you?
I'm not
just
going
keep
into
working.
space. I like, especially a day. Like I
Just
can
for a
deal with
day.
it for a day.
For
I'll
a
just
day.
float
It'd
around.
be kind of fun for a day.
I
For a
know,
day?
just like kind of fly around.
But yeah,
That'd
on
be
the
good.
moon.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Easy,
So,
easy.
easy one.
Cool.
Patti, thanks for being on. If you have questions for Patti,
Anytime.
we're gonna have her on a more regular basis. Again, we're trying to do that. More process questions. Send them to us and we'll chat with Patti. Cheers.
Cheers.
Next up. Okay, our next team member, Anne, is here.
Hello.
And tell everyone who you are, what you do at Acuity, and what do you have in the drink tonight?
Okay, well, first, the most important thing, I'm having Truly, watermelon Truly. I am Ann O'Day. I am Acuity's own controller. I started out on the outsourced controller team, and 3 years ago, I moved to the internal Acuity team.
She's been a godsend. Cheers to that.
Yeah.
Thank you, and cheers. Can you imagine, by the way, having to be running accounting and finance for a bunch of accountants?
No, it's not easy.
It's not easy.
I'll be honest
It's
about
not
that.
easy. What would you say, Anne, is when you think about your job, if you had to boil it into like the most important thing, like the essence of what you do at Acuity, what is that? How would you describe that to someone?
All right. So I think the two most important things that the accounting department at Acuity does is make sure the billing is right, goes out on time, and make sure that everybody gets paid.
There you go.
But what we need to change the department into is a little bit more forward thinking looking, which we're working on. Right.
Exactly right.
Yes.
Anne is bringing us there. I've been super, super excited. We're like, for the first time ever, we're on multiple iterations of our forecast for 2024. And we're doing this the year in advance.
Right.
Before Anne was here, we either weren't getting the forecast or budget done, or we were doing it in the current year.
Right.
That was
Forecast. We don't really
Sorry,
do a
not
budget.
That's true.
We don't want people to feel constrained.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah.
What's the biggest thing like you think on your goals for next quarter, next year? What are you thinking about that's most important for you?
Yeah, I think for me, the most important thing is making sure that forecast has all of the known information now, so that as you go through 2024, you all have accurate information to make decisions, pivot, add things, take things away, any of those sort of things. I think that's what's still, we're getting there.
Yeah.
But we're not there yet.
Yeah. I feel that, I feel like right now in this process we're doing, it is truly becoming a tool of ours. We're using it. We're making decisions based on it. We're just getting there, which is exciting. So I think next year, seeing that really get in place is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
So-
At my last job, it was a nonprofit. We did not have any extra money. So the forecast was the tool that the board used to decide to add a program. And we had it built. So actually, that we either had to figure out how to get the revenue to add the program, right? Or they had to decide what to take away. So I think if you can get to that point, then all those decisions y'all are making as you move the company forward, you have clarity. Like I think we talked about it originally, like an intentional understanding of what when you do X, what is the result that you can expect?
Right.
Yeah.
It's exciting. Again, especially thinking that this was something I used to do back in the day or try to, and then Matthew and I tried to do it and we didn't really make much progress in it. Surprise, surprise. Now we're seeing great progress in it. And so I think 2024 is going to be a year where it really becomes kind of a strategic weapon for us to really make good decisions.
Yeah.
It's all due to Anne.
Not all due to me.
Yes,
It's a lot
all
of
due to
thought
me.
and planning, all these offsites and all of that help.
Well, okay. And one more last question.
Okay.
And it is,
Are you going to ask me what my favorite football team is?
would you like to tell us?
It's having a little bit of a rough year this year, but I am a very big Clemson Tiger fan.
She is right now 1-2.
No, 2-2.
2-2. Sorry, 2-2. I was thinking of NFL 2-2. So that's a
Yeah.
rough year.
It's all right.
For
It's
my
all right.
football team, that'd be a good year to start. But
Well, I've been
Anne's-
a fan since the 70s, so I'm used to some bad years.
Okay, here you go. Your would you rather question. We're doing would you rather.
Okay.
Would you rather Anne be motionless, or feel too much?
Oh, I think I would rather feel too much.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think emotionless.
Yeah.
Is that? Yeah, I
No
mean, like
emotion.
that would be kind of sad.
I would
To
be.
never I think, I don't know, something I was reading recently talked about how you can't experience joy unless you experience sadness.
There you go. That's a great answer.
Yeah. So I would rather feel too much.
And I was gonna say, I'm used to that. I've lived with teenagers in my house. So
Right.
I'm used to people living with all they do is
Up
live
and
by
down.
emotions.
Yes. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Anne, you're awesome. We're grateful to have you here. And by the way, if anyone out there wants to understand what it's like having to be the accounting team lead for a bunch of accountants,
Talk to me.
talk to Anne. Let
Yeah.
us know. We'll
Mhm.
connect you to Anne. Thanks, Anne.
All right. Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
On to the next team member.
Okay. I'm out.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen. We were just saying the Godfather is here. Graham. Graham is here with us. Graham, who are you? What do you do at Acuity? And what are you drinking right now?
Well, name's Graham Wood. I am the team lead for all the ragtag CFOs we have on board.
There you go. Woo.
And I've been with the company Yes, what, 13 years?
13 years.
13 years, which has driven me to drink Woodford Reserve.
Woodford Reserve. Well, I'll be drinking that
Bourbon.
with you later. Bourbon.
Bourbon.
Cheers, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Graham. So tell us what is entailed in managing this ragtag group of CFOs?
Patience.
Patience. Oh yeah. I can see
Patience, understanding their personalities, and actually more than that is what they are good at as far as what industry and what stuff they do and have done in the past.
Yeah.
Funding versus, venture debt versus whatever.
I think it's interesting to where, and again, our bookkeeping team, even our tax team, there's not really a decision point about like who you work with, but at the CFO level, it's very nuanced of who's the best fit. It's much more of a relationship, I would say, based engagement. When we're doing kind of advisory work. I think that's something that a lot of people who ask me, oh, how do you all do advisory? And I said, well, advisory is tough because it is a lot of matchmaking, right? You're doing a lot of matchmaking.
Well, it's a lot of matchmaking, but it's also a lot of experience behind it.
Yeah.
As far as, one of the things I look for when I get asked, would you be interested in this or whatever is, in your experience. If I hear that word, I mean, I know they're interested in understanding and getting some advice, but advisory, that's where all the fun is.
That's where the fun
That's what I
is.
mean.
You heard
It's,
it first from this guy. It's where all the fun
Bookkeeping, okay, bookkeeping is bookkeeping. Nothing against them.
necessary. We need to have it.
Got to have it. Controller is the next level up. Some decisions, a lot of hard work that has to go into it. But from a CFO perspective, we get to talk with the top guys. We get to talk with their investors, their bankers, and whoever else has an important impact on the company. But we also deal with, they talk to us about the personnel.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the personnel, executive level personnel.
Many facets of the business.
So it is you're almost like father confessor sometimes.
I'd say very, very, very true. Father confessor,
Oh, yeah.
coach, counselor, you name all the things.
And you gotta like that because they will get to that point.
Yeah. Is there such thing as a standard CFO engagement or no? I mean,
all of them are different. I mean, in my tenure now at Acuity, I've probably dealt with over 150 companies.
Yeah.
At least.
I was going to say.
And honestly, every one of them was different.
Yeah.
I mean, it might be a nuance here. It might be a nuance there, but every one of them were different.
I'll leave this with your last question. If you had to guess, maybe I don't know, how much, roughly, how much capital through your tenured experience have you probably helped raise amongst time at Acuity and previous to Acuity? You've been in the technology and SaaS space since, well, actually before there was even SaaS.
Right.
And the tech space. How much would you think you've been involved with in helping folks raise?
I actually tried to calculate that recently. and if I back off some of the earlier years, I think you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 225 to 250 million.
Wow. Quarter of $1 billion, folks. That's called experience. You've been around the block.
I've been around the block.
You've been around the block.
I've worn it out.
You have. Okay, your final question. We're doing a fun one with everybody. We're doing a would you rather question.
Okay.
Ooh, this is an interesting one. Graham, would you rather have every shirt you wear be kind of itchy or only be able to use one ply toilet paper?
Oh, give me the itchy shirts. Itchy shirts. No,
I'm with you.
Not there otherwise.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, you heard it here. The fun, where was all the fun at? It's an advisory. Graham just told you it's an advisory, and this guy knows it. And if you have questions or want to learn what that looks like or what it's like to raise 250 $250 million in capital over his experience, ping us, let us know. We'll connect you to Graham. But Graham, you the man, Graham. Cheers, brother.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. And coming up next, we'll see. Next up, T-Mac in the house, baby. Yeah, let's go.
Cheers.
So, all right. T-Mac, you got to tell everybody, who are you? What do you do at Acuity and what are we drinking here?
All right. So who am I? I am Taylor McElheney. I am our accounting services line leader here at Acuity. We're drinking on a little bit of Woodford Reserve tonight, courtesies of Graham Wood,
Woo,
our CFO team lead. So little after dinner.
We took a quick pause here on the podcast, did our dinner. This feels like the right porch type of imbibements. Even though normally I'm drinking a beer, I'm drinking what you think.
It's just like a digestif, technically,
Is it?
you know,
A
something like
southern
that.
digestive, yeah. a little
Southern
bourbon.
digestif.
So we do it on bourbon. All right. So if someone were to ask you, like, okay, Taylor, the hell does accounting services lead mean? Like, how would you? What's like your short 30,000 foot view synopsis of what is it you do at Acuity? Like, what's your team look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So, accounting services line lead, I am very much entrenched in the delivery of our services to our clients, and that stems from everything from bookkeeping to accounting to senior accounting, controllership, our CFO team, and our tax team. Right, so like the full gamut of our services. I am very much the conduit, trying to make sure we're doing things consistently with quality, and meeting our standards of delivery. Right, so
delivery. This guy is delivery.
I'm the delivery man.
He's the delivery man. He's shipping the product out the door, which is our people. Which is, I mean, like, I tell other people, like, this guy's got the biggest team, like most people underneath him. So that is a massive, huge responsibility. And this guy crushes it. He kills it. All right, so I was explaining to our audience that we were kind of here at the offsite doing some 2024 planning. What's like on your radar is like the biggest, like, I don't know, biggest thing you want to get knocked out in 2024 for like you and your team? Like what's kind of in your brain right now?
Oh man, Kenji, that's a good question. I mean, we
Look at a
just,
bunch of them.
yeah, right. We have so much, we've been talking about it all day today of all the things we want to do. We've just implemented EOS, right? So we're organizing our human energy, and for me, it's still very much being entrenched in that initiative, making sure, we're staying focused on client success and people success, because those things intersect in literally everything we do. And I think if we do both those things right, we've got a really potent formula to be a really good place for our clients and for our people, right? And so that's what I'm very, very passionate about.
People have like mentioned like, oh, it takes 2 years to implement EOS. And at first I was like, come on, like 2 years? Like that seems like way too long. And now that we're in it, we're in year one, I'm like, oh yeah, that seems about right. So I think your point about really, we're seeing how well it's working, but like we've still got a ways to go, like to really kind of lock it in. So yeah, I think next year being focused on how do we maximize it, kind of squeeze all the good juice out of EOS is a killer goal and initiative, especially in your team that, again, impacts more and more people than anywhere else in the entire company. So yeah, you're on it. All right. Last question.
All right.
So I told you this is easy.
All right.
You ready? We are playing Would You Rather.
Oh, okay.
Well, we're playing the PG version.
Should have had some beer instead of bourbon. Okay.
We're playing this a little earlier in the evening, maybe later, the later version. Okay. Would you rather that your only mode of transportation is a donkey, or your only mode of transportation is a giraffe?
Oh, you kidding me? I mean, I'm a kind of a different, like, I'll definitely go with the giraffe on this one, right? Like, I'm not gonna fit in with the donkey riders over here. Like, see me coming down the street on a giraffe all day. So
that is, I could have called it. That is a T-Mac. I'll put it in the app that the game here. And let's see, you're in the 55th.
Oh, so I guess I'm not going against the grain on that one.
Yeah, most people want to try to be like this guy here.
Oh.
But I would encourage other firm owners out there, and you think about your delivery, your services team, there's a ton of things involved. If you've got questions about the weird stuff we're doing, like I mentioned at the top of the pod, like it isn't me and Matthew doing it. It's these guys. It's this guy doing it. So drop us a line. Let us know. We'll hook you up and intro you to Taylor, because he's got a ton of experience in scaling up and managing a huge team. This guy kills it. So,
well, Kenji, hey man, I appreciate it.
You're the man, T-Mac.
Cheers, World Wide Web.
Look who's here. The queen,
Kenji.
Queen Bee. Lisa is here. Thank you for Lisa being here. We're getting through it. You can see the sun's going down here. We're getting through our final team members here on site. And this is Lisa. Lisa, introduce yourself. Tell everybody what you do at Acuity and what you're drinking.
Lisa Gilreath. I'm Chief Operating Officer at Acuity, and I'm drinking whatever red wine this is Matthew brought.
Cheers to that. Okay, Lisa. So how would you, sorry, Matthew just walked through a screen door and there went our deposit. You say, how much red wine has he had to drink already? Oh my God. Don't you want to lean in the back? We'll just do this, three of us.
Matthew,
Matthew, what just happened?
what just happened?
I can't see at night, evidently. I just walked through the screen door. It was awesome.
Matthew, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking a lovely Chardonnay.
Okay.
It's kind of mellow. Like it's
Unlike what you just did there.
that was not mellow.
Was not
That was pretty epic.
okay. So we're asking Lisa. Lisa, how, if you were to boil it down to, how would you describe people, like the biggest thing that you've got to do at Acuity in your role? Like, what's the
Translate Matthew and Kenji.
fair? Is there one of us that's harder to translate than the other, or is it equally challenging, different ways?
Equally challenging in different ways. 100%.
She is the translator. Of all
When
things.
Kenji talks to people, they just automatically do things that they should not do.
And it's like everything's roses and smells great.
Yes.
What about Matthew? How do you
I just
translate
freak
Matthew?
the shit out of people, I think. I
Yeah.
just scared everybody.
You just scare people, both of you.
In our own way. I scare them into doing things they,
This
probably
is what
shouldn't do.
happens. You guys go out to councils and events and you talk with other firm members and you have these great ideas and you come back and you tell people about them and they stop whatever we were working on to do whatever this new great thing is. So we've got to stop that.
Cheers to that. Okay. Lisa,
Yes.
what is you think the biggest thing that we've got to do in your role? What are you thinking of in your role for 2024?
To keep us on track with EOS.
Ooh, there have been others who've said the same thing too, because we learned. Sorry, there's bugs.
That was a huge bug.
We are out in the North Georgia woods. There's huge bugs attacking.
By the
We-
way,
we-
the
we-
owl-
Watch out
the
for
owl- The owl back there is supposed to be.
watch out for big bugs and screen doors.
We did learn that like 2 years, apparently you have to wait for EOS to be fully implemented.
two years is what it takes to feel the full like impact of EOS, getting it ingrained to your organization. And so, yes, that will be my biggest task in 2024 is to keep everybody focused on the operating system.
And you are also the ringleader running these offsites for us. Any pointers, things to stay away from, things to do for other firm owners out there who are trying to put together
An offset.
an offsite?
Things to stay away from. So I'll raise my glass to Arige, which I got to see in action last week at the Intuit Partner Council. And she was so bold when she walked in and she was like, I facilitate. No, like this is what I do. And so I was like, yes. So I took lots of pointers from Arige about, we're going to just shut that down for right now and talk about that tomorrow.
I've heard that about Arige. I thought you'd experience that. So I'm glad you did it.
Mhm.
Like she's the master facilitator. So.
Yes.
And tell you what, she's been pretty masterfully dealing with the two of us and the rest of the team here. So we have one more day of this. We'll see where we come out with things. Matthew, I wasn't planning on having you even on this. I was trying to keep you off the
You
pond.
lie. You just went downstairs and got me off the phone to come up here and record. Like,
Well, I was gonna
he's
have,
such a bullshitter.
I was gonna have you do something kind of funny, like you've been missed out of the.
I missed out on this.
Yeah.
Oh, like
What's the most important thing you think we have to do for 2024?
well, not walk through screen doors. That would be great.
So
What was the most important thing for 2024?
For you, what do you want to?
I think that we all need to be paying attention that we not miss something big in AI
yes.
if that comes up. So that's one. But like as a personal goal, I would like to really flush out like our SaaS practice. Like since the other two practices have leaders that are like really taking on the e-com and crypto, I feel really comfortable with it.
Yeah.
Like working with Taylor to like really flush out what the SaaS practice should look like. That's my takeaway from today. Like that would get me going. That would be exciting. That would be a good thing to like take that to the next level.
Mhm.
I mean, it's a big chunk of our clients, right? It's almost
It's a big one.
150 to 200 clients kind of range.
Mhm.
Like take that practice to the next level in a little different way.
Yeah, yeah.
And thinking through that would be really fun to do in 2024.
Yeah. I think Patty's mentioned that before, of like kind of getting into our verticals a bit deeper. We've always had these verticals, but like,
Mhm.
what does the next generation of these verticals look like from a leadership perspective, impacting the market? So I like those. Those are good.
Yeah.
Those are good. All
I
right.
love it when Kenji acts surprised. when
I
say
do.
something.
We talk about this
I-
stuff all
I-
the time.
I am
He thinks We don't
surprised.
work.
I
I
know.
do. No, that's just me.
Oh,
I
it's
think
like-
people like me that don't work.
Yeah, we're not like whatever in the Delta Sky Club residence.
Second resident.
Like,
That was
second residence.
rather
in the Delta Sky
humorous.
Club.
Lisa's
which was one of the
presentation today
funny
was-
Lisa things from today for Kenji.
It was a killer presentation today. And that part made me laugh a lot about me living in airports, which
Claiming
is kind of
second
true.
residency at the
Which is
Delta
kinda
Sky
true.
Club.
But I'll tell again our audience, if you have any questions about offsites, about EOS, we talked to before, the two of them are speaking at QuickBooks Connect about our journey along EOS. So definitely check that out if you're at QuickBooks Connect. If you want to talk about offsites planning for the next year, ping us, leave us a message on social,
Give us a call.
give us a call. We'll connect with you and share some more thoughts and ideas. But thanks for joining everyone. Cheers to all two of you all.
I like it better when it clinks.
I know we're
Then-
actually here together.
Oh, like
They're
the-
virtual and we
the
get to do the
virtual one.
real life play.
It's more fun together.
Thanks for joining. Don't forget
See
to
ya.
subscribe. See ya.